Ever since the retirement of Peyton Manning, it's always seemed as if the Denver Broncos have been searching for a quarterback, and well, that is because they have been. Up until this past year's draft, where John Elway would decide to select someone below 6'6". Amazing. But guess what? In the second round of the draft, the Broncos would pull the trigger on the 6'4" gunslinger out of Missouri named Drew Lock. Mr. Lock would go on to go 4-1 as a starter and win the hearts of Broncos fans all across the country. He's the future of the NFL, is a rising star, and most importantly, is an absolute baller. My name's RZFO Sports. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more football content. We make videos like this all the time. This is our second video in our Rising Star series. Our first was on Mack Wilson. Go ahead and check that out. If you're a Broncos fan, go ahead and check out our Justin Simmons video we made a couple weeks ago. And let's go ahead and get right into this video. So, Drew Lock in 2019, I said went 4-1. A winning percentage good for 800. That's all. That's awesome. It's a short sample size, but that's awesome. And he proved that he was the difference maker on a Broncos team that was struggling to close out games all year, that had a pretty solid roster. But, you know, when he came in, he made a big difference, and the Broncos started winning games towards the end of the year. In 2019, he had over 1,000 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And let me tell you something. Stats do not do my man justice whatsoever, which is why we go ahead and go to the film room. We're going to be taking a look at 2 plays against the Texans that I want to really talk about because they pinpoint his accuracy and arm strength, which are 2 things that you definitely want out of your quarterback. Before we go into our own film breakdown, I would like to shout out a film breakdown by my boy Pip Sports, who he just made one about a week ago, and it's a very, very solid video. Go check it out. He breaks down numerous plays throughout the season, does a great job, and, you know, Drew Lock deserves some recognition, so go check that out. Now, let's go ahead and get to our own breakdown. Now, we don't have the special film room angle, we just have the TV angle right now. That's what we're working with, whatever. This first one is a touchdown pass to Noah Fant early in the game against the Texans. And this throw is downright amazing. It's just perfect. Fant is running a short vertical right over the middle of the field. Nothing too fancy, it's man coverage. And Fant does immediately gain a step on the defender, but that's the only step he's getting. There's little to no separation throughout the entirety of the route. Drew Lock, with pressure coming, needs to make a decision to throw the ball, and he wants Fant. Problem is, as I said before, Fant has little to no separation. So Lock throws it anyway, because he can, because he has the arm strength, and because he has the accuracy, and puts it in the one and only spot it could be in, directly above the defender's head. Touchdown. Just like that. Money. How about them apples? Perfect throw. But for all the haters, that's just a short throw. What about in the deep game? What about in the deep ball game? What about it? Well, that's why I would like to point out this second throw to Tim Patrick later in the game. It's another vertical just down the sideline. Nothing too fancy in the route concepts here. Man coverage again with the corner, and Patrick burns him immediately. So, it should be an easy throw for Lock, but it's not, because the safety read is coming in and is closing this gap. Meaning, Lock, once again, can only really throw it in one spot. If he underthrows it, obviously, it has a shot of being intercepted, so you don't want to do that. If he overthrows it, well, it's incomplete. If you throw it a little too deep, though, not really overthrowing it, but, you know, a little too deep, Tim Patrick is that's gonna be a hospital ball, and Tim Patrick is going to get popped. So there's one little area right there that you can throw it. What does Drew Lock do? He throws a dime right in between 2 defenders in the one and only safe spot that Tim Patrick can go ahead and get it, secure it before getting hit. What better throw could you possibly make there? You couldn't make a better throw. Drew Lock is a baller. He throws dimes. He went to John Elway and asked if he could get paid in dimes. He throws more dimes than Danny Dimes. I'm going to stop talking about dimes now. Drew Lock is good, great, and is the future of the league. He is a rising star. He might have only played 5 games, but I believe he's going to take the Broncos to the playoffs, and here's why. He's on the perfect team. Unlike all the other quarterbacks in his draft class, he has a great position around him. I mean, you have Haskins that's on the Redskins. You have Daniel Jones on the Giants. Those are two NFC East teams that really are abomination right now. Then you got Kyler Murray, who's on the Cardinals, who, let's face it, they're not amazing. They definitely have pieces there, but not amazing. Gardner Minshew on the Jags, they're trading everyone right now. And that leaves Drew Lock. And Drew Lock has the perfect team right now. He is beyond perfect. He has an offense with Courtland Sutton on it. Courtland Sutton's going to be one of the top receivers in the NFL again. He was the highest graded second-year receiver in the NFL last year and can make plays that no other receivers can. We saw an establishment of a connection, a deep chemistry there last year in the final few games of the season. I think this is a perfect fit. Alongside of him, you have Deshaun Hamilton and Tim Patrick, two of the most underrated receivers in the NFL. They're very solid, both in the same draft class as Sutton, are great performers, can get open constantly. You have that. Then they're going to probably bring in another receiver like Amari Cooper or Henry Ruggs, some guy with speed. That's going to help lock out even more. Then you have a tight end in Noah Fant, who has also established a great connection with. In the backfield, you have two very solid checkdown options, and when you're not doing well, you can hand the ball off to them constantly with Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman. This offense is loaded. The only thing holding them back is literally Garrett Bowles' holding calls. That's it. Not to mention, with everything on offense, they're just as loaded on defense. They just franchise-tagged the best safety in the NFL in Justin Simmons. They have Kareem Jackson in that secondary. They traded for A.J. Boye only for a 4th-round pick. Bryce Callahan's coming back from injury. At edge rusher, they have the best duo, arguably, in the NFL in Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. At linebacker, they have Alexander Johnson and Josie Jewell. What is there not to like about Drew Lock's situation? The Broncos are primed to go ahead and make a playoff run next year. There's no doubt in my mind they're not going to make the playoffs, and a hot take would even have them taking the division over the Chiefs, and yes, I just said that. Drew Lock is what makes this team run, though. Without a quarterback, you can't really go places. Drew Lock is a quarterback, and he's good. He's going to take advantage of everything he has. We know his talent, and we know his potential. We saw what he could do at the end of last season, and I'm pretty sure with everything around him, he's going to go ahead and make a name for himself and become a star at the NFL level. Drew Lock is a rising star and an absolute baller. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more football content. Drew Lock, highly, I don't want to say underrated, but kind of is going to be regarded as a top player in the NFL next year. You even have John Elway talking about him. You have A.J. Boye coming in talking about him. You have Shermer coming in talking about him. Everyone's talking about him. What is not like about this kid? Thank you guys for watching. This is always for sports. Signing off. Bye, guys.